Welcome to Northview Golf Course. Today's round starts just the way I would draw it up, with a fairway in regulation, a green in regulation, and 2 putts for par. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the theme of this round, as my score today really starts to unravel. But that gives us a great opportunity to talk about bad golf. And you've seen me play some bad golf. The difference today is that I don't manage to salvage a good score out of it. And we're going to look at the reasons why, and talk about how to approach golf when you're not playing your best. One key to playing good bad golf is to make sure that mistakes turn into bogeys and not double bogeys. So here, after punching out from a wayward drive, my approach shot misses the green, meaning it's imperative to get up and down to salvage a bogey and not a double. And after hitting a good chip, we miss the short bogey putt, giving us our first double of the day. The third hole is stroke hole number 1 on the card, the type of hole where we're okay making bogey. So here, another wayward drive requires a punch out, and now we're left inside 100 yards just trying to make a 3 and get out with a bogey. Here we're able to do just that, and another reminder that good bad golf means being okay with bogeys, especially on tough holes. 3 over through 3 holes, the par 5 fourth gives us a good opportunity to settle in and start making decent scores. Unfortunately, this shot isn't going to set us up to do that. Effectively trying to punch out towards the green, we wind up in a greenside bunker, where at least we hit a good shot, so we'll have a look at salvaging a 5. But once again, a missed putt means we'll take a bogey. I was really excited to share this video today. And not because my score was ugly, but because when my score got ugly, I never gave up. Here I hit my first shot into the drink, and it would be really easy at this point to write off the round. Instead, I re-tee and hit a great second shot, and managed to salvage the best bogey of the day. Tiger used to say that it wasn't birdies that fueled him, it was good par saves. And as handicap players, maybe we should be able to take good bogeys and find fuel from them. It wasn't lost on me that I really stole one on the last hole. So here, after my approach comes up a little short, I really studied this chip before giving it a go. I knocked it close and managed to make my first good par save of the day. I rode the momentum from 6 into the par 5-7. I hit a pretty lousy drive, but settled myself before my second shot, which was a good approach with a 4-wood. Now from inside 100 yards, we're hoping to give ourselves a good look at birdie. Unfortunately, the approach didn't quite get as close as we wanted, but this should be an easy 2-putt. Our first long lag putt of the day was a bit misjudged, but we do make the par. The drivable par 4/8 is a classic Arnold Palmer risk-reward hole. But given how I've played so far, I want to remove the volatility from this round and try to make an easy fairway green 2-putt par. A 3-wood off the tee left me in position to do that, and even though the approach wasn't great, it did find the green, and finally we're stacking together some pars here. Remember what I said about double bogeys being the enemy? Here we go. My tee shot here just missed the green and found the bunker, and I wasn't able to capture my bunker shot, which was bladed through the back of the green. And now we have a long putt to finish the 9 with the bogey, but we miss it, and the double wipes out the momentum of the last few holes. On the front 9, we talked about the importance of momentum and how double bogeys can be the death knell to a good score. On the back 9, those two things are going to combine in the worst way. And rather than talk about each and every bad shot, of which there were many as you can see, I want to talk about how we need to change our mentality to try to stay in it during these tough rounds. The double bogey here probably puts the final nail in the coffin of this being a low-scoring round. So we need to find some new goals. In hindsight, I should have made that mental shift after the 10th hole, because instead we make an uncommitted swing here, followed by my worst shot of the day. Look where my feet are aligned compared to the start line of that ball. And I realize here that I didn't go through any proper routine before that shot, and really want to make sure that regardless of how I score for the rest of the day, that I'm at least committed to each and every swing. And here's a committed swing with a good result. And here's a committed swing with a bad result. It's important to ask yourself after a bad shot, was that because I didn't commit or because I didn't execute? And often one can lead to the other. But in this case on this hole, I was mentally checked in. I just hit some bad golf shots. And once again, I'll point out that as handicap players, we sometimes are just going to hit bad golf shots. And on the next hole, we get a little bit of everything. A committed good shot off the tee. And with the approach from the fairway, full commitment and bad execution. And with the next shot, something we haven't discussed much, which is good commitment, good execution, and kind of getting robbed by the rub of the golf course. And finally, this putt was the wrong commitment, because I was so focused on trying to make that par that I didn't protect against a 3-putt. Another way to try to stay invested in a bad round? Press your match. On second thought, don't take gambling advice from me. Here from a lousy lie greenside, I do my best to put the ball on the green. And we're back into the groove of settling for bogeys. On that subject, have you ever had a day when bogey feels like par? This is that kind of hole. A bad drive leaves me a very difficult approach up the hill and around a tree to a tucked pin. And we end up chipping from a very bad lie. And also leaving ourselves a pretty difficult 2-putt. At least we make it. And like I said, that bogey feels like a par. Another bad golf topic? 3-putts. So here we hit our tee shot into the heart of what I would call 3-putt territory. We have a downhill, massively breaking putt. And even though we're not terribly angry at 3-putting here, we need to make better efforts than my first putt here. So not all 3-putts are created equal, and even though I'm in 3-putt territory, that's a bad 3-putt. Remember the third hole when we discussed being okay with bogeys on tough holes? Well, that's the result we're going to get here, but we get to it in a pretty interesting way. That chip gets robbed by the rub of the green. It was actually a good chip that hit something and just stopped dead. So of the ways to make bogey on a tough hole, that's one of them, I guess. 18 is a reachable par 5 with a tee shot in the fairway. But there are birdies to be had from the bunker as well. And it starts with a good shot like this. And with this wedge in hand, I'm really eager to stick one close, and almost hole it. Instead, we wind up with a few feet, and yep. A tough day for me, but hopefully one all of us golfers can relate to. We'll reset and try to play better in our next round.